First and foremost, in this talk, we will not argue about who is the better civilization. We'll do something else. And to break down this very complex thematic down to its very core, what is a civilization? Well, a civilization is a group of individuals who form a way of life that is dominated by dependencies. In contrast, if each and every one is independent, makes his own food and his own clothes and his own weapons and so on, it's not a civilization. It still might be a community. It still might have a certain degree of organization, but it's not a civilization. To really become a civilization, you need cities. A city is per definition dependent on the rural parts that are not the city to basically not starve. A city has, because of its short ways and high densities of knowledge and people and different ideas and so on, a way better potential to improve in the ways of culture, in the ways of technology, religion and so on. Cities provide cheaper labor, higher stress and higher productivity and way more crime. In other words, it has more potential for a golden age and decay. Cities are in a way the best and the worst place to be. But what is the foundation? Well, I would argue it's the word no. To understand that, we have to go to a place that is not civilized, the completely self-sustained farm. Another farmer comes over and says to this very farmer, he shall do something. In the end, it does not matter if he does or not. His no has no influence. They don't have a lot of power over each other. There is no dependencies. You can say no, but it has no effect on the others. There is no hierarchy, there is no dependency, there is no civilization. In the city, it's different. You are dependent on those who are above you in the hierarchy and below you. In fact, you're dependent on each and every one there. If one of them says no, not even to you, but to someone else, you have to deal with that in some way or another. One no will start a chain reaction, so there might be consequences. There might be pushback against your no. Of course. If you argue that this happens also in a rural community too, yeah, of course, because they are part of civilization. Think about the Stone Ages. The important thing is that the word yes will keep the machine running, and it will run wherever it goes. This might be up to a golden age or towards decay. It's hard to know that. Then no, on the other hand, this is where things become interesting, and no changes gears. Not just one, but many. If one part says no, not just one thing will have to change, a lot of things have to change. It's like a wave. It starts very small, but it becomes very big over time. It's like a wave that moves towards the system. The word no is the big reformer. If it is repeated often enough. If you say no, it has a larger effect than what you think. It takes time, yes. It takes persistence, oh yes. But it has an effect. It is important to say no on the right place. Saying no on your Facebook status changes absolutely nothing. Screaming no on demos changes not a lot. Saying no to a party you don't like changes a bit, but in reality not a lot too. But saying no to products, here is where we start talking. To say, if you do this and that, I say no to your products or services. This is where your power lays, because these companies hurt, and with that, the employers are hurt and they see pressure, and they will give pressure again to sensitive points within the company, and so on and so on. The wave goes forward. Your no is the base of civilization. Saying yes changes absolutely nothing. Changing yes to someone who says it will bring change changes nothing. Saying no changes a lot, and it changes more than you can imagine. And keep in mind, post it above your bed and tell this to yourself every morning. You say no in a civilization only with your money, with nothing else. And this no will have an effect if you keep repeating it. Your consumption or not consumption forms the civilization, lead the civilization. Fleeing civilization, on the other hand, giving it, moving to a self-sustainable farm is very tempting. Oh, it's so tempting. but it will end with the termination of civilization and making place for another, because some kind of civilization, some kind of state and ruling and so on will always exist, because some people like that. But pretty much all of them were worse than what we have right now. It's worth saying no. It's worth saving the civilization.